Hey yo, we're back with another video. So today we're actually going to be doing a guide on how to do chapter 2, 11 through 13, right? But we're not going to really showcase how to do 11 because 11 and 12 are almost the same. So we're just going to do 12 and 13, and you could use whatever I do for 12 to also complete 11, and you should be completely fine. So let's get right into it. We're going to be talking about the teams and all that good stuff. So as you can see, the very first one that we're going to be doing is chapter 12, and chapter 12 has a Jogo. This is going to be the same for chapter 11 as well. He's weak to yellow on both, so you already know you got to use a yellow character for both. So the team for 12 will work for 11 as well. He doesn't have any crazy mechanics or anything of the sort. So this is going to be the team. So we have Miwa. Miwa's going to be our tank. She's going to be soaking up all the damage we can and countering if possible. Then we have Saki. So Saki is going to be our DPS bruiser. Essentially, you kind of charge up with her second skill, so that way you can charge up your ultimate skill gauge and buff yourself and taunt. So you're going to be getting targeted very often with her. We have Yuki here. Yuki is going to be providing survivability to our team by giving us guard and whatever we may need. And then we have Ieri. So Ieri is going to be more of our support character who is going to be healing us and keeping our team healthy. Now, in terms of memories, we have these 4 memories here, and I'll talk about what each one does a little bit, not too crazy. We'll just go over it briefly. So we have this first memory. So what this first memory does is you activate it by using your special skill, and it will increase all allies damage by 35% for 1 turn. And then at the beginning of battle, recovers 200 points of the character's special gauge. So next up, we have this memory that we have on Saki. The reason we have this on Saki is because, like I said, Saki is a bruiser type of tank where she does damage, but she also taunts the enemies to her. So having this will reduce all damage taken to all allies by 10% for 2 turns. On top of that, the lower the character's HP, the greater the effect, which is going to be good because you're going to be, tanking a lot of hits. On top of that, the character can be resurrected once per battle as well from the passive of it. So this gives you an extra safety net just in case if she does happen to die. Next up, we're going to be using this memory on Yuki. And then for the memory for Ieri, is not super important, but I have this one because it heals her by 14% every 4 turns if you activate it, of course. So this is a little bit more sustained for her, so that way she can continuously stay alive and heal the rest of your team. We're not going to use the 5th slot here. The 5th slot I don't think is going to be necessary, but if you really want to, you can use the 5th slot and it'll make the fight significantly more easier for you, right? So let's get right into it. All right, so now we've finished the Jogo fight on episode 12, and then of course 11 is going to be very similar. Episode 12 was just a little bit stronger than 11, but not too much. So that's going to be 11 and 12 basically. Now we're going to be moving on to 13, where it's going to be the fight versus Todo. Todo is weak to green, so our carry is going to be a green character. We're going to be using roughly the same team, except we're going to have a green carry this time. So for this one, you could use whatever green character SSR you have. Any green SSR character you have is good, can do this completely fine. The character that we're going to be using today is going to be Saki again. Now you don't need to use Saki. You could even use Megamin. Megamin works here just as fine as well. So you can just kind of like choose whichever you want. If you want to use the rare Megamin, you can. If you want to use the Saki, you can. Either or work in this situation completely fine. I think for this one, I'm going to use Saki just because I feel like it's a little bit more safer using her. but I would probably use Megamin if you're going for like a straight up carry. Like you'll do more damage, you'll be able to CC and all that. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'll just use Megamin. That would be a little bit better to showcase it. We're not going to use a 5th character, and we're going to use the same exact memories. These memories should be completely fine. There shouldn't be any reason to change them. And it's going to be mainly kind of the similar strat where you're just kind of like trying to CC and stall the enemy out until you could get your ultimates.